Listen, I love this. My Good. You can go to mygood.org. I mean, there's so much going on in the country. It may seem like an obvious point, but what made you say right now in this moment, I have got to do something? As your song, get up and do something. What made you say I got to do something?
Just that, it's a crazy time, and it was just my way of contributing, of making the world a better place, doing what I can. But just as a mom, when I hear about the police killings, I always think about the mom, like always, because I imagine that's the worst thing that can happen to you is to lose a kid. So, me and my friends Grace and Sharon, we got together and put together this charity. It's a 501c3, and we support the families of victims of police killings, just like you said.
Yeah, it's important. And what are some services that y'all offer to victims of police violence?
The number one need is mental health services. Of course, you can imagine after something like this, people need therapy, counseling. We have cases where family members aren't able to get out of bed. Completely emotionally debilitated to the point where they can't go back to work, and and all that affects you physically. Of course, we have we're looking after a mom that's in the hospital right now, and so I think that people, with all the marching and the posting, I think they forget that there's a humanity going on. That there's people actually living this and actually really feeling the consequence of police shootings, and we focus on these families in particular because they also don't get any justice. They lose a loved one, and then if a cop murders you, then nothing's going to happen, in this country. So we're there for them specifically.
And how do you talk to your kids about this? I mean, it's just I have a little sister. It's
Yeah.
just hard, and she's 18, and it's just hard conversation. How do you talk to your kids?
Um, my kids are very good talkers. I just tell them to be cool, to comply, don't argue. You know, um, just try to be cool as you can. But I know some officers like to incite you. I've been pulled over a few times, and they'll say things, because they want a reaction. So you just have to be smart and be cool, and but I don't think George Floyd or Jacob Blake were doing anything wrong. So you just it's awful, but you just never know what cop you're gonna run into and what his mood's gonna be that day and what his training was, and it's really it's really awful. We have to live that way.
It is, and that's why I think it's important that you're doing this because while we're living that way, then we also have people who deny that it's an issue, who say it's not really a
Yeah.
big deal, and
Right.
clearly you wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you hear about a handful of cases, but we're up to about 1,000, averaging 1,000 police killings a year, and they're going up every year. There's more in 2019 than there was in 2018. We're already at like 600. People, you don't hear about all of them, and so that's who we're here for. Because the thing is, you know, police aren't always in the wrong. Sometimes people are up to no good. You know what I mean? And sometimes they are protecting themselves and their partners, but it still affects the families. It's still a mom who just lost a kid, and she has, funeral costs to deal with. She got legal expenses, medical bills, and like I said, the mental health thing, just not being able to get it together in your head to function every day. So we're here for those families.
Well, I also want to say that your charity goes back a long time. I'll never forget during Hurricane Katrina, I saw footage of you down there in New Orleans handing out food to people. Like
Yeah.
you're like advocacy in this way goes it's real, goes back a very long time. So I want to thank you for that. It's important to use your platform in that way.
Thank you. Well, I think, it's a crazy time, and everybody has to pitch in and do your part, even if it's just a little bit, because it's cool to protest and have an opinion and post stuff, but if you want to make the world a better place, you got to do your part. You got to be a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or else you can't really ask for it.